Hey everyone, and welcome back to Storytime. My name is Jake, and today we're going to be looking at the new subreddit r/talesfromtechsupport. Why did you change your password? You're not allowed to do that. I started at a new company not too long ago. Although I'm not in an IT capacity, I think I've had enough knowledge not to be a user in most of these posts. Day 1. Welcome aboard! I'm Safety Stan, and I'll be giving you your orientation for the day. We'll start with a tour of the place, meet and greet with everyone, then get down to training. Cut to the end of orientation. Here is your information package. It has all the information you'll need. Your company email address, cell phone number, landline extension, username, password, etc. Everything you need to know is on this paper. Great, thanks. I'll just change the password, destroy the paper, then I'm good to go, right? No, don't do that. What? Destroy the paper? No, you can do that. Don't change your password. Why not? It doesn't look secure at all. Keep in mind, this password is your standard onboarding password. Very generic, very easy to explain, very easy to remember. It was something to the effort of less than 3 letters of street, my initials, street address number. Essentially, it's an ABC XY 1234. Enough to pass the sniff check of a password checker, but not enough to warrant security. They like having access to everyone's account, so they can keep the passwords the same so you can log in when you're not here. I suppose if you want to change the password, you can, but you'll have to tell the receptionist. She can just update her log for you. I didn't want to argue the case any more than I already had. I was the new guy after all. Zero clout to throw around. I thought Safety Stan was mistaken. After all, what would IT say about something like this anyway? I'm sure they'd have words with Safety Stan if this were actually the case. Thinking it was just a mistake, I changed it from a generic formula to something a bit more powerful. Day 15. Jake, log into the conference room computer and show me what you've been working on. I logged in, using a password that is considerably longer than their generic password. Length is strength. What's that? That doesn't look like the standard password. It's not. I changed mine. It wasn't secure. That's not how we do things here. Did you share the change with the receptionist? I can't believe that's actually a rule. No. I thought passwords were supposed to be secret and secure. You need to share it with the receptionist after this meeting. After a fairly short, but well received, meeting with the owner, I went to the receptionist, begrudgingly. What's up? I need to give you my password. You changed it? Why did you change it? It wasn't secure. Why do you need to know what it is anyway? Well, what if you aren't here and we need to log into your account? Why would you need to log into my account? Can't IT get in if they need to? It's easier this way. What's your password so I can update the list? She proceeded to scour her files to find the document holding all the passwords. When she found it, she didn't have to unlock anything. It was just a regular Excel spreadsheet with usernames in one column and passwords in another. My password is a phrase. It's, "Stop exploding, you cowards!" Not actually my password, and my password is actually longer than that. Wait, what? It's a quote. It's from Futurama. Phrases are easier to remember. But it doesn't have any numbers or symbols, and it's all lowercase. That's not good. It's the length of the password that makes it more secure. Not all that hard to remember stuff. Phrases are super easy to use for them too. My password is super secure. Hi Super Nintendo Chalmers. I am the one who knocks, etc. All super easy to remember and type in. Much easier than $$W0RD. No, my password is 29 characters long. Severe overkill, but it's a fun phrase and I don't mind typing it in. After reluctantly typing in my long phrase password, I asked another security question. So what about any past employees? Disgruntled ones? Aren't you worried about them logging in and destroying stuff? No, I lock out their access. Yeah, but what about other users? What other users? They're locked out. They can't get in. What would stop a disgruntled employee from using another person's credentials to log in after they've been terminated? If all the passwords are the same as when we start, then they would just need to use the password formula to log in as anyone. Receptionist and ABCRR9999 is your login information, right? What's to stop someone from going to the online portal and logging in as you right now? Ha! That wouldn't work. I would have locked out their access. Clearly not getting it, I ended the conversation there. I don't know why the receptionist has access to all of the passwords. Must be because our IT is outsourced on an as-needed basis. Even still though, I don't know why he hasn't raised this as an issue. This is where I ended my post previously. Fortunately, between then and now, we're allowed to change our passwords and keep them secret. How much water can my computer have inside of it before it stops working? Hello all, this is the story of one narrowly missed Darwin Award. Way back in the days of 2003, I worked in RV dealership chain as their sole systems admin. This day is relevant to the story. Bob, a service manager, who really should have known better. Mark, a service tech with a newly found respect, bordering on worshipful awe for your humble IT deity. Me, said humble IT deity. I was hanging out in my usual spot, our main office in a place south of Seattle, reading up on my hero, the operator from hell, and his sidekick, pimply-faced youth, when my phone rings with the Island Shop ringtone. I had different ringtones for different shops, so I knew which ones to lob off to my pimply-faced youth assistant. Hi, this is Unfeigned Ship. How can I help you? Hey, it's Bob in blank location. Got a quick question. How much water can my computer have inside of it before I shouldn't turn it on? What? You know the fish tank over my desk, right? Well, it started leaking over the weekend. At this point, it should be noted that our intrepid IT deity was well aware of the tendency for this level of user to call the monitor the computer and the computer the modem. The IT deity also understood that CRT monitors have obscenely high charges stored within them, due to the CRT acting as a massive capacitor requiring special discharge equipment. What happens is what is frequently referred to euphemistically as physics demonstration. Bob, don't... One sec, let me see if it will turn on. No! At this moment, fate, which had been kind to Bob by not burning down his office and building, decided that Bob needed a lesson. Or perhaps should serve as one, and let many coulombs of electrons find a quicker exit to ground than his usual circuit provided. To this day, I don't know why the electrons chose that path, but choose it they did, and when they went, they brought a moment of light, magic smoke, and a hell of a bang with them. In short, a short, provided by a bag of salty water named Bob. The lights in the shop flickered, and a loud bang in the office brought people running. There was a distinct sound of Bob hitting the floor and the phone handset following him. It does trouble the author, our IT deity, that he's heard that sound enough to recognise it. Bob, are you okay? I hear people entering the office and trying to wake Bob. One of them, Mark, picks up the phone. Hey, Bob, are you okay? Who's this? Bob's on his butt, out cold. It's Unfeigned Ship, in IT. Bob's computer exploded. Did you do that? Maybe. And thus, that's the story of how I made every shop tech and service manager in a dealership chain feel the awesomeness that is I. Almost got fired for being too efficient. I ought to know better. Remember years ago when they extended the length of daylight saving time? Well, Microsoft was supplying a fix for all their servers, with the exception of Windows 2000. For that, they wanted you to license and agreement for the patch, and of course it was a bunch of money. So, a group of people wrote a simple patch and released it as open source. At that time, we had a bunch of Windows 2000 servers left, so I snapped it up and tested it. It worked great. We had a phone meeting scheduled to discuss its implementation. Me and 3 other guys were on the phone. Since I had touched the project, I was elected to implement it. So they asked me how long it would take to do all the remaining servers that needed it. I said, a few hours, so give me a day. One bigwig spoke up. Well, you know, we ought to really bring Fred in for this. He's very concerned about it and wanted to be included in the decision. So Fred joins in. I repeat, a few hours, so give me a day. They hem, they haw. They take this entire thing to ridiculous extremes and keep ruminating the most insane BS I have heard in a long time. I got bored, so I parked the script in a folder that was on a drive that my AD account mapped a drive to. I remotely connected to the server and installed it. I took seconds. I worked my way down the list, all while listening to them drone on and on about this thing. Root. If it will take you a day, we'd better give you a week, just to make sure in case something comes up. Okay, as I continued down the list of servers, patching each one. Well, you know, George really ought to be brought in on this. He's had a lot of pressure from the muckety mucks about this and is concerned about it. So we all wait for George to join in and then rehash it all over again. Well, Root, if they are giving you a week, then we ought to schedule it 2 weeks, just to give you enough time. At this point, I'm barely listening. I'm just cruising down the list of servers, patching each one and moving on to the next. So at the end of the meeting, they ran over it again. 2 weeks to do a short job. Root, is that okay with you? Is it doable? Now, this is where I really kick myself. I actually spoke up and said not only is it doable, but I had 3 more servers to patch. I had been patching them while on the phone call and would be done in 10 minutes. Talk about a fiasco. I was called everything under the sun. Some nasty, other stuff like, not a team player. All for doing a project too quickly and efficiently. After they all hung up and a few hours went by, my manager called me and said he managed to save my job and convince them it was all okay. I ought to know better. I should have taken the 2 weeks and screwed around, then finished it. Sometimes you just have to play the game. I've never been in one of these positions where someone's told me to do something and then they've given me way longer than actually needed, but that sounds like a lot of free time to me. Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you did, then please do hit like down below as it helps out so much. If you want to submit your own stories, then you can do so using the Discord, which is linked at the top of the description. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. But thank you again, and I will see you soon.